people in here have their house 1,000 feet from
But the way they told me they're going to write it is they're going to write exceptions where if you live within 1,000 feet of a school, you will be allowed to keep your firearm in private. You won't be allowed to bring it in public.
Yeah, so you can't go to the house.
Yeah, well, if you leave the house with it, you've got a problem, and then you can't bring it back to your house. Here, so.
I just want to say thank you for coming in.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Very happy to be here.
Very important that we definitely need to keep writing our representatives.
Please,
And
please,
I just
please.
want to share that there's a really easy way to do that I found. If you actually go to Ruger's website, there's a link on their site.
Really?
It's very easy. You click on it, it actually brings up, you put in your zip code, it brings all your representatives all the way up to Obama, and you can write your letter and hit submit, and it'll actually give you a confirmation of it.
Cool. Wait, does that allow me as a legislature to reply to that email? Because I've been replying to everyone.
Yes. It actually puts the email address at
For those of you who didn't hear that, this gentleman pointed out that if you go to Ruger's website, there's some sort of system where you can email all of your elected officials in your area and make your voice heard. That's pretty cool. Legislation on drones. I got a funny story about somebody I know shooting down a drone that was flying over their farm and then charging the government to come get it. Yes.
The last two law enforcement officers in the last 5 years killed in the state of Delaware. One was with a knife and one was with a gun. The guy that was killed with the gun was Chad Spicer. It was done by a guy that was on probation for a gun crime and it was released to the public. Don't take my word, check your facts. Okay? And when our law enforcement officers are encountering this, what do you think us citizens are? That's absolute gold. So I encourage you to, if you take something away from this today, it's not just about the gun control, it's about the crime that's involved.
You're absolutely right.
And the people that's doing it.
Well,
in our system, it's broken.
One of the things, if you'll remember, last year was the home invasion bill. And what I got told was the opposition to the home invasion bill, why it was argued down to 5 years, was that by making it more than 5 years, you're encouraging a criminal who's broken into somebody's home to say, well, if I'm going to go away for more than 5 years, I might as well kill the person.
Because they can't afford to be out of it. Because anybody can do it. You know, why not bring death on that? Why are people so hard up and say, oh God, this guy killed 25 people, we should put death on his face and put him in jail. Let's give him 3 meals a day. Let's give him education. Let's let him work out and do all this.
The death penalty debate is another one, and I've been getting emails about that as well. Again, that's going to be coming up. It's the same thing. I encourage you. It's the same thing.
That's right. I'm for that. That's right.
Hold on one.
Okay, going back to kind of what this guy was saying here, in voting in general, if you're going to, I guess you could say, start talking about, okay, here's our plan, should you violate our rights, you really got to have something in place. And I think all of y'all need to think in the back of your head, if this thing goes south, what's going to happen? And as much as I like my firearms, I like other people's having guns, and I like shotguns, I like rifles, if it goes south, you're going to need some real hardware, which means you're going to need help, international help. If you look at what happened, this wouldn't have happened if you didn't have guys in other countries getting contacts and shoring up alliances with other countries and with other people. It ain't going to be just here.
Ironically, what you're talking about, there's a gentleman over here with one of my heroes, Ben Franklin.
Franklin and Adams went, and I hate to say it, but it hadn't been for the French, had it not been for the Spanish, had it not been for the Dutch, this wouldn't be the American Union.
Wait. French, Spanish, Dutch. All countries whose
European
a lot of their
colonies,
citizens resent us for our Second Amendment.
Different people from then to now.
Different times, but this is 2013. We don't just go to our elected representatives. We can't go to the world community. I know as bad as that sounds, but you don't see people in Syria petitioning Assad. They want outside help. We're at the point you need to start thinking that.
You gotta be careful with that. Though.
You got to be careful. Yes, you do, but you got to play that game just like Franklin and Jefferson did.
England
Or not
had an
Jefferson, Franklin and
agenda for the
Adams.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Divide and conquer.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this, I'm frozen. So if you'll excuse me, I just want to thank you again for coming out. I really appreciate it.
What was your name again?
I'm Representative Jeff Spiegelman. Most of my colleagues, I imagine, will be at my colleagues who are pro-gun will be at the Second Amendment rally tomorrow as well. There's an awful lot of them. I told them about this, and they said, you know, I just can't go to two in the same day, or in the same weekend. I just don't have the time. But I wanted to make sure I was here. I do have business cards on me. If I run out, I'll run into my office and get more. So if you'd like one.
All the people in Delaware, or just your constituents here today?
Well, for me, I'm standing up for the Constitution. I swore an oath to do that, and not the Constitution that some special interest group saw fit, but the Constitution that was established. And as it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, you live in a great state where the Delaware Constitution is actually even more clear than the national Constitution in terms of people should own firearms. So.
Look at the flag.
Yeah, how about that? How about
Got
that?
a gun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.